Have you ever heard someone take the stage and instantly make your jaw drop? Imagine a young Filipino stepping into the spotlight, the crowd buzzing with curiosity, and the first note hitting like a lightning bolt. This isn't just a performance, it's a moment that leaves even the toughest judges questioning everything they thought they knew about talent. Before we dive in, make sure you hit that subscribe button so you don't miss more unbelievable performances like this one. The lights dimmed and the audience hushed, the kind of silence that carries anticipation like electricity. On stage stood a young Filipino man named Miguel, barely 20, with an unassuming smile and a calm demeanor that barely hinted at the power waiting inside him. He had grown up in a small town outside Manila, where music was his escape, his joy, and his only real connection to the wider world. Most people in his village didn't know much beyond daily routines, but Miguel knew he was destined for more. Miguel had always loved Elvis Presley. The king's voice fascinated him, the raw emotion, the way it could make listeners feel everything at once: joy, heartbreak, longing, and triumph. He had spent countless nights alone in his small room, singing along to old vinyl records, mimicking the nuances of Elvis's tone until it became second nature. But now, standing on an international stage before millions, the pressure was entirely different. The judges were already skeptical. Simon Cowell, known for his unflinching honesty, leaned back in his chair, arms crossed, a faint smirk on his face. He had seen hundreds of acts claiming to be the next big thing, and most of them were quickly forgotten. Yet, there was something different about Miguel, a quiet confidence that suggested there might be more to discover. As the music started, Miguel took a slow breath and closed his eyes for just a moment, centering himself. Then, he began to sing. The first note was delicate, soft, almost hesitant, but it carried a purity that immediately captured the room. It wasn't just a copy of Elvis's voice, it was Miguel interpreting it, injecting it with life and soul. The judges exchanged glances, and the audience leaned forward instinctively, sensing something extraordinary was about to happen. By the third line, Miguel's voice soared with intensity. Every inflection, every subtle vibrato, seemed to echo through the theater. People who had come expecting a typical performance were suddenly frozen in awe. Simon Cowell's eyes widened slightly, an almost imperceptible nod betraying his astonishment. But just as the performance seemed perfect, an unexpected twist happened. Miguel hit a high note that no one expected him to reach, and the microphone briefly malfunctioned, cutting off the sound. For a moment, the audience gasped, the sudden silence threatening to ruin the moment. Miguel, however, didn't miss a beat. He continued singing, letting his voice project naturally, raw and unamplified, filling the theater with sheer talent and determination. The audience erupted into applause, stunned by the resilience and sheer skill on display. Simon leaned forward, now fully attentive, a mixture of disbelief and admiration on his face. Where did that come from? He muttered to himself, barely audible but enough to hint at the gravity of what he was witnessing. Miguel finished with a flourish, a powerful, heartfelt final note that lingered in the room like a spark refusing to die. The silence that followed was almost deafening. Then, one by one, the audience members rose to their feet, giving a standing ovation that seemed to last forever. Even the other judges, who had been initially skeptical, were now on the edge of their seats, clapping and cheering, clearly moved by the unexpected brilliance of this young singer. Backstage, the atmosphere was chaotic. Cameras flashed, reporters shouted questions, and fans crowded the corridors, eager to catch even a glimpse of the young singer who had just stunned everyone. Miguel felt a strange mix of exhilaration and nervousness. He had dreamed of this moment for years, yet now that it was here, it almost felt surreal. Just as he was about to breathe a sigh of relief, a stage manager approached with a concerned look. "Miguel, there's been a mix-up," she said hurriedly. "The next round requires you to perform a duet with one of the most famous singers in the country. They just called, your partner can't make it, and you're expected to go on in 20 minutes. Do you think you can handle it?" Miguel's heart raced. A duet with a professional singer on live television. He had never performed alongside someone with that level of experience. Doubt crept in, whispering that maybe this stage was too big, that maybe he wasn't ready. But then he thought of all the nights he had spent singing alone, perfecting every note, every nuance, every emotion. He straightened his shoulders, took a deep breath, and nodded. "I can do it," he said quietly. As the duet began, Miguel quickly realized the challenge was greater than he had imagined. His partner's style was bold and theatrical, demanding precise timing and coordination. Miguel had to adapt instantly, listening carefully, harmonizing on the fly, and keeping his own voice from being drowned out by the more experienced performer. Sweat trickled down his forehead, but his focus never wavered. Then, the twist that no one saw coming occurred. Midway through the song, Miguel's partner lost their footing and stumbled slightly, threatening to ruin the performance. Without missing a beat, Miguel adjusted, carrying the melody forward on his own. The audience gasped in astonishment as his voice seemed to float above the music, both confident and vulnerable at the same time. Even the judges leaned forward, holding their breath, realizing that this young man wasn't just talented, he was extraordinary under pressure. By the final chorus, Miguel had transformed the performance. What had started as a risky duet became a solo showcase of raw emotion and technical brilliance. Simon Cowell, who had been known to stay stoically neutral during even the most impressive performances, was now clapping vigorously, a rare smile breaking across his face. "I honestly can't believe it," he said, almost to himself. "I've seen hundreds of acts, and this is something else entirely." Weeks passed, and Miguel's journey took him from his quiet hometown to a bustling rehearsal studio in Los Angeles. Every day was intense, filled with vocal training, choreography, and media interviews. Yet, no matter how exhausting it became, Miguel never lost the spark that had first brought him to the stage. His connection to Elvis's music remained his anchor, reminding him why he had started singing in the first place. Finally, the day of the finale arrived. The arena was massive, packed with fans from around the world. Cameras swiveled, capturing every angle, and the audience buzzed with anticipation. Miguel could feel the weight of expectations, not just from the judges, not just from the viewers, but from himself. He had grown so much, but tonight, he wanted to prove that his journey was more than just talent. It was heart, determination, and authenticity. As he walked on stage, the opening chords of an Elvis classic began to play. Miguel paused for a moment, letting the energy of the crowd wash over him. Then he sang. From the very first note, the arena went silent. Miguel's voice was richer, deeper, and more emotionally charged than ever before. He didn't just imitate Elvis, he became the story of the song, infusing it with his own experiences, his struggles, and his dreams. Each note hit with precision, each pause brimming with tension, drawing the audience into his world. Midway through the performance, another twist electrified the arena. A sudden technical glitch dimmed the stage lights, leaving Miguel bathed in a single spotlight. Most performers might have panicked, but Miguel embraced it. His voice soared even louder, stronger, commanding the room with pure talent. The judges' reactions were priceless. Simon Cowell, known for his tough exterior, leaned forward, eyes wide, almost unable to believe what he was hearing. Other judges were on their feet, applauding, some even with tears in their eyes. By the final note, the entire audience erupted into a thunderous standing ovation. The echo of applause seemed endless, a testament to the power of Miguel's performance. Cameras captured the awe on Simon Cowell's face, astonishment, respect, and the rare acknowledgement of a truly once-in-a-lifetime talent. Backstage, Miguel finally allowed himself a moment to breathe. He had faced doubts, setbacks, and unexpected twists, yet he had stayed true to himself. Reporters and fans crowded around, clamoring for interviews, but Miguel smiled humbly, acknowledging the journey rather than the fame. As the video of his final performance circulated online, millions of viewers were inspired. Comments poured in from around the world, praising his talent, resilience, and authenticity. Miguel became more than a singer, he became a symbol of hope, proof that dedication, courage, and passion could turn dreams into reality. Before signing off, Miguel turned to the camera and addressed his viewers directly. No matter where you come from, your voice matters. Your dreams matter.